As you can see here in front of you, we have the three separate lock styles that PCT offers. Your first style, to the left, is the magnetic lock. It's an electromagnetic lock that works with the metal bar being placed on the door, and the electromagnetic system being placed on a frame or a bracket on the frame, and it holds the door open and closed. Does not require retrofitting to the door and gives a good solid hold. This particular model is 280 kilograms or 600 pounds of force in order to break through this lock. Pretty substantial lock, rather heavy. Second lock we're talking about is a deadbolt lock. Deadbolt lock, pretty simple stuff. This is installed into the frame. This section here, it's installed like this into the frame. When the strike plate comes in contact with it and it's energized, the bolt will lock. The door, once the door is wired and set up, the door will lock in the closed position. Once it is hit by the trigger and it is opened, the bolt will drop back and you'll be able to open the door. That bolt will stay in that lock position as it is now until this plate meets again when the door closes. That prohibits the timing of this bolt. If there's a 15-second timing, in order for someone to get to the door in that much time and to utilize this system, the bolt will stay open for those 15 seconds, but it will continue to stay open and not pop open to where it's locked the door, and the door would come closed and hit this. So the issue here, good lock, works on electromagnetics, and works on a deadbolt system, and this is a fail-safe, which means when the power goes off, this lock will go into the unlock position or the safe position. This lock as well is operated in a fail-safe. Power goes off, you will have this magnetic force will stop. This lock, fail-safe, is also known as normally closed. The circuit is normally closed when this bolt is against here, and the circuit normally closed means the circuit's closed, applying power to hold this magnet shut. As soon as the power is released, you can open the door. Okay, our last lock, and this is our electric deadbolt. This is our electromagnetic. This lock here, our most popular lock, is it's called an electric strike. This particular electric strike has some added features. These three wires work with the computer system, opening it, closing it, setting a certain amount of time, and also sending data. That's what these three wires are for. The bottom of this has two more wires. Those wires work with this button right here, which is called a signal output. When the door is closed and the button is pushing in there, it is showing the computer it is showing on the computer that the door is closed. Once it's opened and this is released and the door is opened, button pops and it's showing on the computer that the door is now ajar or open. This is vital for systems where you want to know whether the door is open or closed, and you want to know it real time. Very, very important. If you wanted to use the deadbolt lock or the magnetic lock, and you wanted to know whether the door was open or in the closed or open position, you would require magnets that fit on top of the door, and they make contact showing a closed unit, making an open unit. Here's what you need to know about these three lock units. This lock unit when locked, a reader will open it coming from the outside in. The reader will open it, you come in, the door closes, and you go on your way. When you are ready to leave the building, this magnet doesn't know that you're ready to leave. And when you turn the handle and it's unlocked and you go out, this is going to continue to hold the door closed. So these require what's called a force open button or a button. Another opportunity, another item that you can be used if you're not using a force open button is an infrared sensor that sees you coming from the inside of the building to the exit door. It triggers this, opens this lock for a certain amount of time. So when you install this, you're going to need a force open or an electronic eye, a motion sensor, to open this door. If you put this in a school, anywhere where there's children, or any public place that has high volume, I strongly suggest that you use the motion sensor. Problem is, in a panic, kids are running out of a building. If there's a fire in a school or a situation like that, they don't remember to hit that force open button, and they're literally locked into school if it doesn't have the motion sensor. So schools using these require motion sensor and should have a force open button right there for people to leave. Offices, etc., we have mostly adults who know that they can hit this button on the way out and open this electromagnetic, kind of the same thing. Now we're talking here about the deadbolt. Deadbolt doesn't know as you walk in a door, you hit the reader with your card or your fob, it unlocks the door and you leave. Or you enter, I'm sorry. When you're exiting, you will need again a reader on the inside to unlock this deadbolt, because when you turn the handle in the open position on the door, and it's still going to be in the lock position holding you in. So you can have, again, the motion sensor or a force open. This is where this one really shines. The strike is holding the button in the door. So when you walk in, this opens up, you pull the door open, and all is good. Problem is, the best part is, when you're leaving, you turn the handle to open the door. It brings this button in, doesn't catch on here, and out you go. So this requires nothing other than the reader on the outside of the building to open the door, and the inside of the building with an unlocked handle. Inside to out unlocked handle, you can go in and out all day long, and no force opens are needed. Crash bars can be used. Anything can be used with these because of the ability for that button to be turned when you have an unlocked door, unlocked from inside to exit. Again, these require a force open or a motion sensor to open them, both of them. This does not. All this requires is that the door be open from the outside, the door be open from inside to out just by a handle walking out of a building, like most buildings should be. And on the way in, you use this to where this releases itself, and the button just rides through here in a backwards position because it's locked. The door is still locked, but the latch itself lets the button ride through. Inside here you can see again this little button tells you whether the door is open or closed. On the computer system, does not require an additional magnetic lock on the door like the deadbolt will definitely need.